under slavery and they made their exodus. They left captivity. And what did Moses say to them? Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So Moses said to the Israelites, if you keep God's commandments, you will be set on high above all nations of the earth.
That's right.
From the beginning, there was no such thing as equality in the Bible.
Right.
All right, the Israelites, the Lord told them and promised them if they kept the commandments, they would be set on high.
Right.
But guess what? There was a stipulation to this agreement.
Right.
Verse 15.
Verse 15. For it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So if the Israelites did not listen to the Lord their God,
to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall...
So all these curses, sisters, are curses a good thing or a bad thing? A bad thing, right. So all these curses, all these bad things
shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So all these bad things shall happen to you and shall pursue you wherever you go. So I want to show you some of the curses that identify who the Israelites are today. Read.
Verse 15.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not...
16.
Cursed shall thou be in the city.
So, one of the curses is that the Israelites would be cursed in the city. When you look in the world, in all of the cities, as a nation of people, who are the people that are first fired and last hired? Who are the people that have the lowest paying jobs? Who are the people that live in the slums in Europe? The slums, wait, what country you're from? Jamaica. Who are the people that are living in the slums in Jamaica? It's our people.
Right.
Even though we're the fastest, we got Usain Bolt, who's the fastest man in the world.
Right.
Even though we're the most talented, we're the ones that run the music industry.
Right.
Even though we're the strongest as a nation of people, are so-called blacks, why are we at the bottom of society?
Right.
It's because it is a curse, because we did not keep God's commandments.
Right.
Read on.
Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
So when you look in the field, what's it talking about? The work field and the plantation field. Who was cursed in the plantation fields? Us. Who was cursed in the sugarcane fields? It was us. Who was cursed in the tobacco fields? It was us. Who is still cursed today in the cocoa fields? It is us. When you look at all of the produce that the world uses, it comes from the black and Hispanic countries. But are we the ones that reap the benefit as a nation of people? No, we're not. When you look at the gold, where does that come from? Congo. When you look at the cocoa, where does that come from? Ghana. When you look at all of the rich fruit and sugarcane, where does that come from? Jamaica. But are the people of the countries actually benefiting? No, they are living impoverished. Nigeria, they have gold, they have oil, but yet still, they don't have current, they don't have electricity. For us in the UK, we do. Why? Because as a nation of people, look, on the sign here, we are cursed. We are cursed because we did not keep God's commandments. All right? Let me get you one more. Get me verse 46.
Joshua.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee.
So these curses shall be upon us.
Read. For a sign and for a wonder.
So understand, Brixton, the signs of the curses are to identify who the Israelites are today. Read.
And upon their seed forever.
And upon our children forever. So, family, what do we do to change these curses? What do we do to change our conditions? Pardon? Come, young man. What do we need to do? We need to obey God. We need to come back to obeying God. So can you give me an example of what it means to obey God? The Ten Commandments. Very good. So can any of you tell me what the Ten Commandments are? Any of you? All right, can you tell me 3 of the 10 commandments?
No.
He knows 2.
You know 2?
All right.
Come, let me hear. Let's see. How many of the commandments can you give?
Go on. How many of the 10 commandments can you give?
Don't kill. Love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Okay, no, remember one.
Yeah, I started with him too. Yeah.
And that's it, yeah?
All right, cool. So you see the problem there. Do you not go to church? Who goes to church? Put your hand up. You don't go to church and you do not know the 10 Commandments. What is the job of the priest or the pastor? Give me that. In Malachi chapter 2. What is the job of the priest or the pastor? If you go to church on a Sunday and you can't even give me 2 of the 10 Commandments, then they're not doing their job properly. Read what you got.
Book of Malachi, chapter 2, verse 7. For the priest's lips.
So the priest or the pastor, hold on, listen up, read.
Should keep knowledge.
They should be keeping the knowledge of God. And read.
And they should seek the law at his mouth.
They should be teaching you God's laws. Because what we identified is if you do not keep God's laws, we're going to remain in this lower state. So you need to learn God's laws. You should be able to reel off, honor your father and mother easily. Keep the Sabbath day holy easily. But why? Because you're not being taught properly, you're not being guided correctly, then you're lost and you're unable to confirm how to change our community. So some of the problems here in Lambeth, in Brixton, is what? Let me, Exodus chapter 20. There is too much murder in Brixton. There is too much murder in the borough of Lambeth. When you look at the statistics, Brixton or the borough of Lambeth is the 3rd highest borough with crime rate. It's the 3rd highest. And we all know when the sun comes out, the guns come out. Read what you got.
Exodus chapter 1. Exodus chapter 20, verse 13. Thou shalt not kill.
The Bible says, thou shalt not kill. If the pastors or the parents taught our children that simple commandment, thou shalt not kill, the community will be a much better place. But what's happened? The pastors and the priests are fools. They are not teaching you the way of the Lord. They are teaching you lies. They are taking your money and they are teaching you lies. But what are we out here to do today? To show you how to keep God's laws, to come back to your heritage. My brother, you've been listening there for a minute. You got a question? You got a question? No? No question? All right, read that again. So this is how we change our community. If your parents were teaching what?
Exodus chapter 20, verse 14. Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not kill. Get me Hosea chapter 4 and verse 2. Thou shalt not kill. My sisters, are you tired of the stabbing in our community? Are you tired of the murder in our community? So, how do we change it then? Come, don't run away, sis. We need sisters to come and help to change the community. You don't want to be a pillar in your community. Are you a pillar in your community? Yes or no?
All the way down to South Africa.
Pardon?
Right?
We have to help each other. How do we help each other, my sister?
They had the laws opposing.
Unity and what? Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 1. You're right, unity and embracing each other as one. So I want you to listen up as you're walking away, yeah? Listen up, because the Bible tells us how we should be unified. The Bible tells us how we can come together and change the community. Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 1. And I'm going to go back to Malachi chapter 4. Read where you go.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
The Bible says that you should gather together. Read.
Yea, gather together, O nation, not desired.
As a nation of people, the so-called blacks, Latinos are not desired. My brother, don't listen, don't walk away. You should be listening to this. We are not desired by the other nations. So we need to come together as the so-called blacks, the Caribbeans, the Africans, the Native Americans, you so-called Latinos, and come together and keep God's commandments.
From the same people, according to the Bible.
Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Before the decree before the day past as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you.
Before the Lord's judgment comes upon you, it is imperative that you gather together. Go back to Hosea chapter 4 and verse 2. So, we all know, time after time, year after year, when the sun comes out, the guns come out. The crime rate goes up. Is that not right, my brother? Brother, does that not happen every single year? When the sun comes out, the level of drunkenness increases and the level of murder increases. What do we need to do? Read what you got.
Hosea chapter 4 verse 1.
Start from verse 1, yeah?
Hear the word of the Lord, you children of Israel.
So listen up, you Israelites. Read.
For the Lord have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
The Lord has a problem with the people of Lambeth. The Lord has a problem with you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Read.
Because there is no truth.
My brother, listen up. Do you know that there is no truth in this land? There is no truth being taught in the churches. There is no truth being taught in the mosques. You're not understanding the laws of God. You're not being taught your identity and your true nationality. Read.
No mercy.
There is no mercy. We have no mercy one towards another. If a brother was to step in your trainers, straight away it's war. Straight away it's war. It's free. But guess what? There is no mercy to each other as brothers. But to the other nations you have mercy.
No knowledge of God in the land.
Contrary to what you believe, you do not know God. If you are going raving on a Saturday and then go to church on a Sunday, you do not know God. If you are still women, if you are wearing trousers, you do not know God. Men, if you are acting effeminate, you do not know God. Contrary to your belief, the way that you show that you know God is by keeping His commandments. Read what you got.
By swearing and lying.
By lying, if you are a liar, you do not know God. Read.
And killing.
And killing. What happens in Lambeth when the sun comes out? What happens in Brent when the sun comes out? What happens in Jamaica all year round? What happens in Nigeria and Ghana all year round? What happens in Colombia all year round? Blood touches blood. There is murder in the streets. Why? Because we have a low moral standing. So we need to come back to keeping God's laws. We need to come back to having that high moral standing. We need to come back to loving one another as brothers. Is that not right, my brother? Are you going to stand up and change your community? Because we need men to come together and change these youths, change the mind of the children. Because they're the ones that are terrorizing the streets. They are the ones that are running the streets, and they are running the streets red with our blood. Read.
And stealing and committing adultery.
And stealing and committing adultery. Get to Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 10. There is stealing and committing adultery. That is some of the root causes of murder. Stealing from each other and committing adultery. Because why? There is no mercy, there is no honor, because men are not standing up and guiding the young men. So what? They steal from each other. Read what you got.
Proverbs chapter 7 verse 10. And behold, he made woman with the attire of an harlot.
So what? Another thing that happens in the community, there is whoremongering, there is order. Go back to Hosea. Sorry, go back to Hosea chapter 4 and verse 2. Because what? There is stealing, there is lying, there is murder, and that is running rampant in our community. But we need to change the minds of our people. Because when you see, the young men are not being guided correctly. The young men are not being guided correctly, so they are doing what? Read Hosea chapter 4 and verse 2 again.
Hosea chapter 4 verse 2. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery.
Go to Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 28. By stealing and lying, what happens? A lot of the men nowadays are scammers, they're drug dealers, and instead of working an honest job, they steal from each other. And then there is gang war and violence, reciprocating violence and murder. And the cycle continues and the streets get worse and worse year after year. So, sir, how do we change the minds of our people? How do we change the young men? What do we do? What do we teach them in order to change the mindset that they have? We need to teach them the Bible, correct? We need men like you, men like us to stand up and teach the men the Bible. What do we need?
Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.